a comedian earlier today, and he said, and I quote, "Some of these restaurants are acting like they're trying to be healthy for you, but not Taco Bell. Taco Bell knows exactly what it is. Taco Bell was being sued by a college campus for only having 20% meat. Taco Bell countersued the college saying, you are incorrect. We have 80% meat that is 20% filler. They didn't argue the fact and try to say that they had 100% meat. No. Just 80% with 20% filler. Taco Bell knows exactly who the fuck they are. And they don't care they don't care about trying to be healthy. They want you to ruin your body.
You remember in The Simpsons, Lunch Lady Doris is in the kitchen and she's like grinding up a gym mat. She's like, "There's very little meat in these gym mats."
Who is it? Is it the Food Babe? Is that her name? The Food Babe talks about how your beer has propylene glycol in it, which is the same thing that is in yoga mats. And she talked about, well, if you're going to drink a beer, you might as well just chew on a yoga mat. And I was like, yes, because that's my idea of fun.
Yeah, I chew on stuff all the time. I'll chew on it. Yeah, why not? Why the fuck not?
As long as it's a used yoga mat.
Oh, yeah. I kind of doubt that, but I guess that's possible. Yeah,
it is completely incorrect.
Okay,
because the preservative that is used in beer is not the same as the as plain de-icer, which is what her excuse was, or her reasoning was, is that beer had the same preservative as plain de-icer, or as like an ingredient as that has, or that's in plain de-icer.
Yeah, okay. So this is actually something that pisses me off. I was going to say, propylene glycol is used throughout many things. It's a stabilizer in food. It is an alcohol. It prevents alcohol from freezing too easily. So
correct.
Doesn't surprise me that's in there. It's also used in cosmetics. It's an FDA approved food additive and cosmetic item and all the rest of that shit. It's inert. It doesn't do anything to you. It passes through your gut, no problem. What pisses me off is that there are some people out there who can be clearly identified as demonstrably stupid, who don't know the difference between propylene glycol and ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol is the shit that is in antifreeze. Ethylene glycol is in your windshield wiper fluid. That shit is toxic. That is not in food. It's not in anything that you would touch on a day-to-day basis. I somehow doubt that there's anything beyond a trace amount of it in a yoga mat, but okay, fine. You're not eating yoga mats, so you're not in a lot of trouble. There's a fucking difference between propylene and ethylene glycol.
100%, but there are just enough stupid people on this planet that will believe anything that a quote unquote food and health influencer will tell them. And it's the same thing where they constantly bring up the fact that there are 4 different food dyes that are
carcinogens.
That are illegal.
Oh.
And made illegal in the EU, but of those 4, there are 16 that are used in the EU that the United States has made illegal. They don't tell you that part. So there are 4 times as many that are used in the EU that are illegal in the US as to the 4 that line up.
Shit, I didn't even know there were 4. I just thought there were 3. I know Red 40 and 2 of the yellows may contain carcinogens in them. I do know that there are food colors in the that are used in the U.S. that are questionable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only know 3. Shit. And back to stupid people who would tell you anything. Yeah, you know how I know. Well, no, not how I know. How I got started on the whole ethylene versus propylene glycol thing was Dan Aykroyd went on Larry King and hawked his Crystal Skull vodka, and one of the things that he said to Larry King was, and there's no glycol in this. There's no a lot of liquors put glycol in their alcohol. That's antifreeze, and there's no glycol in our vodka, and that was what just set me off. The fucking alien conspiracy theorist going on Larry King trying to tell people that there's antifreeze in their liquor. No, you're dumb.
I mean, this is Dan Aykroyd we're talking about here. I
Yes.
love the man to death. He's a brilliant actor. However,
He's been in a couple good things that I can list on one hand.
I mean, true. And
Sorry.
and 3 of those movies are in the same series. Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Bruh.
Oh boy.
So
I saw Omega hop on for a second. He
yeah,
must be
he's
almost done with the shower.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm one of those TikTok cracks me up sometimes. Because it's just I love the people who are trying to debunk these people, and the ones who are attempting to say that like anything that's not organic is bad for you are also the ones who are sponsored by companies who like sell supplements and all of that stuff, and they
They're
don't
sponsored
tell
by
you that.
sponsored by companies that hawk food products that contain loads of high fructose corn syrup because high fructose corn syrup is organic. That it is. No, that's actually an
Oh no,
argument.
I know.
That's a
I
fucking
know.
argument that I love. I laugh my ass off every single time when some health nut gets up on their soapbox and is just like, "Hey, non-organic foods are everywhere. They're plaguing our society, and you need to eat only organic foods." And me, an intellectual, just thinking to myself, uh, things that we eat pretty much have to be organic. Our GI tracts are not good at breaking down, I don't know, plastic, metal, things that are not organic.
I think I think the thing that cracks me up the most are the ones who sell organic salt.
How the fuck is that even
excuse me. Excuse me. That's not possible, sir. I'm gonna have to ask you to go back to school and take basic fucking chemistry. Thank you.
It's a fucking mineral.
Yes.
I mean, fine. Yeah, it's a mineral that our bodies absolutely need. I want to know what the difference between organic salt and inorganic salt is. I'd really like to hear somebody try to break that down for me in a way that doesn't sound completely fucking stupid.
The other thing that kills me are these people who are the pink Himalayan sea salt is so much better for you.
Oh,
is it
Christ.
though? Is it though?
Here's the thing. I have one of those pink Himalayan salt Zen lamps that is supposed to, de-ionize the air around you and make everything, so like feng shui and all the rest of that. It's pretty. I have it because it was a Christmas present, and it's pretty, and I like it. I don't actually think that it does shit.
Well, so we're part of, and we've got a service contract with our HVAC repair people. The reason why is because they installed our $10,000 heating and air system, and I would like to have that run for quite some time. And so it's more cost effective, and they came out here to do their biannual check, And the guy goes, so we always suggest a UV light to attach to your system that will um keep your that will keep the air clean and it will
It's
da da
gonna
da. And I'm
sterilize
like,
the bacteria as it flies by.
yeah, I actually like I took the guy gives me a option sheet. And then I looked at him and I looked at my wife the second that he left. I folded the option sheet in half, tore it in half, and threw it in the trash can. I was like, we don't need that bullshit.
Here's the thing. It's a novel idea. Yes, UV really does wreak hell on I think it's cell membrane of bacteria.
It's
That
true, it does.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I was a lab tech, um, you don't you don't pass your instruments underneath a UV light.
They have to sit there.
Yeah, when you're done in the hood, you close the front of the hood and you flick on the UV switch and you leave it that way for as long as you're not working at it. It could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be overnight. You leave it that way because it takes time to kill shit. Ugh.
Yeah. No, the massive amounts of stupidity that people will fall for. The amount of stuff that people will fall for. And like my dad's an HVAC tech. I helped my dad more times than I can count in when it comes to installing HVAC systems. I don't care what you do, if you don't keep your ductwork clean, it's not going to matter. And I think that is what my wife and I really need done right now is we need to have the ducts cleaned out
You just
real
have a
good.
little duct work done on you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
get yourself one of those wire brushes. Ducts.
But I told,
High
you know,
future lateness.
oh God, no. Oh Lord, you've been recording this whole time.
I'm gonna start streaming now. Yeah. Omega will get here eventually, I'm sure. It's going on 9:30 though, so we should.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's because when people are bombarded with that much information, it gets you lose that critical part of your brain that's like that is the questioning part that says, okay, that's interesting if it's true, but I need to go and source that. I need to look that up. I need to see if that's actually a fact or it's just some bullshit. It's the pitfall that everybody falls into when they get their news off social media, is because anybody can post whatever the fuck they want on social media and they can claim that it's true, but that doesn't mean that it is.
Right. And I think that's part of my issue is that when I see things, I'll overthink everything. And it's just one of those situations that it irritates the crap out of me most of the time.
It's just one because of those days.
But
yeah,
you constantly question everything, and I know it's a critical thinking thing. It is something that some people did not inherit from their parents.
Yeah, or did not learn. Were not taught in school. They were not given the tools that they needed to think independently. So yeah,
Correct.
just
And
go with
a lot of kids nowadays, I mean, they're not being taught that in school now. If I had kids, they would be homeschooled. Period.
Older, well, yeah. See, I don't know about that, or I can't speak to that. I don't know how homeschooling works these days. But as I get older, I realize that when kids that are in school right now are not getting the same quality of education that I got when I was in school, and the quality of education that I got when I was in school was not the same as the kind of quality that people were getting in Generation X was getting. Not to say that like we knew more in the 80s than we did in the aughts. That's not it. It's just how thorough are you in learning how to math, how to science, how to history.
Correct. Well, and then they change math. How do you change math?
That's just order of operations. That happened in the 1920s.
Yeah, but okay, no, but here's the thing. Okay, my cousin, who is a teacher, I have several family members in the education field, and she said that when they switched over to having to teach Common Core math, that is when she decided to go from being a second, third grade teacher down to a kindergarten teacher, because in kindergarten, she doesn't have to teach that crap.
What's that? What's core math? What's that?
Common Core? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
CC. Oh god, it's like Adobe Photoshop CC.
Hang on, I will. Common Core.
It's not that kind of math that's got that really stupid. Oh, what the fuck? A 10? Is that what it's called? Where they try to they give you a grid, a 2x5 grid, and they're like, there are two of them, like add these together, make a 10 for 8 plus 7 or some shit.
So, I am posting a something in PunHub, or not
Okay.
PunHub. I'm just going to put it in the Cox channel.
Right. Cox.
That is Common Core math. The second, that is what they were teaching a couple of years ago in the state of Virginia. That was on the standardized testing.
Okay, so on the top you have 243 minus 87. Yeah, because you're doing the 3 minus 7 can't do that, so the 4 goes to a 3, and then you put 13 instead of okay. That is what I know. The bottom looks like a diagram of someone learning how to play hopscotch.
That's essentially the way that they were teaching it. Yes.
243 minus 87. 87 plus 3 is 90, plus 30 is 100, plus 100 is 200, plus 43 is 243. So what are you doing? How are you arriving
Make
at
it
that? 43, 10.
exactly.
43, 10, 3, 100. Oh, so it's visualization of discrepancies in numbers. That's an interesting way to think. I don't know if that's faster.
It is, and what I consider Common Core math is what I learned in calculus and trig as mathematical theory, not math, mathematical theory. And they are trying to teach mathematical theory to children, and it makes no sense. Why would you do that?
Well, because there's so much fucking more to learn now. Like they're expected to know so much. I can't even imagine somebody graduating high school without going through AB Calc these days. But that in defense of how stupid a 10 is, that's what they're trying to teach you. They're trying to teach you pre-calculus.
Hello.
Hey,
hello,
what's
sir.
up? Welcome.
Yeah, Common Core is weird. I'm just going to jump in and pretend like I've been following along this conversation, but I saw the meme that you posted.
Good.
And, Common Core makes no sense to us because we weren't taught it. And,
Yeah.
I've had it explained to me, though, like, interestingly, the way that I do arithmetic in my head is more closely aligned with Common Core than how you learn, doing it with pencil and paper. Like, the question that you asked, 243 minus 287, my brain, or minus 87, my brain instantly changes that to 250 minus 90. And then I subtract the 7. And then, so like, that's kind of what Common Core is teaching you to do with the numbers is like, instead of, doing the hard straight math of 243 minus 87, okay, 3, okay, carry the 1, and then you got going through all that in your head, it's much easier, much faster if you round it up into easy chunks.
But that's the weird thing about me too, because 243 minus 87 in my head, what I do is it's 240 minus 80, that's 150, and then 3 minus 7 is -4, so it's going to be 100. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 240. No, 60. Yeah, -4, and then it would be 156. Yeah, so I do something similar. I take things out of order. So
yeah,
I'm not sure, but the common core for the difference between 87 and 90 is 3. The difference between 90 and 100 is 10. Like, first of all, how are you getting, you're just supposed to, I guess it becomes second nature to you after a while to do 90 to 100 and then use the 100 to 200 and then the 200 to 43.
For instance, the way, me using it is, the 3 plus 10, yes, I can just skip to 13.
Yeah.
I can just skip that. Like, so you can, use it's just about chunking it and then doing small math around bigger chunks instead of doing big math on specific numbers.
Well, but here's the thing about the Common Core question that was provided. It goes from 243 minus 87 to 100 plus 43 plus 10 plus 3. So I know, it's still long form. That 10 is just 13. You can even merge that together and just make the 43 into 56 with, because you're doing that already. 43 and 10, 53, and then another 3 is 56, so they're 156.
Yeah, so we're looking at the long form of it, and that's a lot to do. But as I'm sure a child who grows up learning this system, once they are fluent in math, they will basically be doing the kind of thought processes that you and I do, where they can just break it down into the chunks really quickly in their head. Because like the biggest problem with math, the way that we learned it, is how much of it was memorization. Do you guys remember learning your times tables?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, on
it was
popsicles.
Look at this chart and memorize these numbers.
No. We made popsicles. So we had a popsicle that was a key, and then a whole bunch of multiples for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. We made them in 4th grade. My teacher was named Miss Pizzet. She was great.
But
I can still remember.
It's amazing that you remember your teacher's name. I barely remember my own name from day to day.
Because she was the teacher that actually got me interested in math in the first place. Not interested, but not afraid of math anymore. Because she was the teacher. We had all those quizzes, and we had like pop quizzes on math. It was just like, find all the. It was a grid. She would give us grids, like a 20 by 20 grid with all these numbers, and it would be circle the multiples of 4 or circle the multiples of 6 and stuff like that. And it would take me so long to just go through all of them, and I was so intimidated by them. And she was a teacher who just told me, "You're thinking about this way too much. You know what the answers are. Just go through all the rows and just circle the things and don't stress over it." And we did it like over and over and over again. And I just started getting hundreds on tests, and I credit her with that. So she was great.
Yeah, see, math and science were never an issue for me. It was the grammar that was a problem for me. Grammar,
as a Southerner,
I know, right? Imagine being one of the original stereotypes.
I'm fitting to give you some Rosetta Stone CDs.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm not that bad. But no, math and science came naturally. I think that's probably why I was in my junior year. I was taking trig and calc, and then for sciences, I was taking gross anatomy.
I always hated math, but I was good at it, which means I had no problem doing any math, but I stopped taking it after pre-calc. That was the highest you had to go. At that point, I was taking a bunch of band classes and electives and shit, so I didn't need to take any more math classes, so I didn't. So I've never taken calculus. I've never taken trig, any of that stuff. But
did you ever take physics?
I was always... See, that's the thing. The best math I ever did was physics class. I've taken a lot of physics class. I had a class my junior year, and it was called engineering sciences, and the teacher was the physics teacher. It was basically shop class with physics.
Okay, see, now that's awesome.
We did a fuck ton of math and all this crazy shit, and then we built wall climbers. We did a bunch of math and all this shit, and then we figured out how to, build a bridge out of popsicle sticks that could span 12 feet. Like we did a ton of math, but it was applied math. It was math that meant something that I could visualize and understand and actually have a reason. Not even understand, they just have a fucking reason to do it. I hate math for the sake of math. Like, I don't want to just look at numbers and do stuff. Like, if what I'm doing means something, cool. But I hated doing abstract math. I only really enjoyed applied math.
Yeah, you did. If you were doing engineering and stuff like that, you definitely learned trig. Because I was going to say, if you took physics class, I took a couple of physics class. I remember doing a lot of trig, especially in, like, engineering physics.
See, that's the thing. Like, when you are learning the math and in a way that, like, it's one thing to learn the math. It's something very different to understand how the math means something and, like, what it does. What is the purpose of the math? And that was always my problem with math class, was I hated the abstract pointlessness of sitting there doing exercises without ever, like, having a good, practical application for any of it that, felt worthwhile. And then you do physics, and that's fucking all of it. It's great. Math is a key to understanding the universe. That's what physics is. It's using math to understand the universe. It's great.
It's also a brilliant way to ruin music. It's one of the reasons why I stopped. Stop being a performance major, specifically. I still love math.
We had in middle school, we had what we called a technology-based class, and it was legitimately all applied physics. It was applied physics and computer programming. Was exactly what that class was. And it was taught by Mr. Chester. And the only reason I remember him is because he nurtured my creativity when it came to building things. And I had one of the modules in that class was to build one of the little soapbox cars, little Pinewood Derby cars.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to put it through a wind tunnel, and your name went up on a board that people had to try to beat your time in this wind tunnel. And my name stayed at the top of that chart until they finally closed out that class in 2008. And I was in middle school in 1997, I think it was, 97, 98. So my record stood for 10 years. Was the
body of the car look like? Was it cylindrical?
No, it was a wave. It was legitimately just a low profile wave.
Smart man.
And I went with the way I came up with the body is I literally took sound waves and extended out a sound wave until it met its lowest point, and I could still physically carve the piece of wood. So it was a low sound wave is what it, and that was the name of the car, the Sound Wave.
Hey, you want to know how to win the Pinewood Derby every single time?
Put a piece of uranium in it.
Yeah, both good answers. No. So the sound wave or the wave profile that splits the air and then joins the air back together is definitely a good start. But the other one, if you're actually doing Pinewood Derby and you're having a race, build a car so that only 3 wheels are touching the ground.
That is brilliant.
3 wheels move faster than 4. Less friction. If I could have gotten away with 2 wheels, I would have.
Not a bad plan.
So yeah, anyway, hello everybody, welcome to Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is DrNiggle. I'm joined tonight by Cream of the Squid and OmegaConstruct, and Masami is off this week because
Reasons.
because reasons. So yeah. The fuck was I gonna talk? Oh, no, there's so much stuff to talk about. There's tons of stuff to talk about. We talked about some of it. Didn't talk about all of it. Talked about anime. That was good.
Anime.
Omega inadvertently referenced Marcus Aurelius when he was talking about understanding math, breaking it down into what is of each particular thing. Ask what is it in itself, what is its nature. So that is today's what I thought when I thought about Rome.
That also reminds me greatly of what was it? Silence of the Lambs. When he's talking to Clarice and
yes,
he is
that is a Hannibal Lecter quote from Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Very good. Yes, of each particular thing, ask what is it in itself? What is its nature? What does he do, this man you seek? He kills women. No, that is incidental.
No.
Oh man, Anthony Hopkins is a blast. I just found out the other day that Anthony Hopkins was in a Transformers movie, and I was sad for him. I was happy because he probably got paid a shit ton of money, but God, such a distinguished career, and he had to put up with Michael Bay.
It was a good performance. Let's just say that. I've actually watched that.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins was also in Marvel movies, stealing the show.
Was he?
Yeah, he's Odin.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Remember? Tony Hopkins. I call him Tony because we're friends on Twitter.
Ah. And he never shows up to our podcast, that bastard.
It's the time difference.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he's living in Wales. Oh.
God,
there was a story. Podcast. Craig Ferguson was told an Anthony Hopkins story because the comedian Craig Ferguson was at an awards show and he was sitting with Anthony Hopkins, and apparently, whatever show it was, they were not having a great time. They were just sort of, we're here out of respect for our friends or whatever, but whatever. And apparently, Anthony Hopkins turned to him. He was just like, Craig, I want to get out of here. He's like, well, I want to get out of here too, but how are we going to leave? We can't just walk up and leave, or get up and walk out. And it's like, I've got an idea. I'll start a fight, and we'll get thrown out. And then Craig's just like, I'm not going to start a fight with you. You're Anthony Hopkins. And Anthony Hopkins is like, then I'll start a fight with you.
And you know what? You know what's really funny about that is I could totally see Anthony Hopkins starting a fight with somebody to get out of something.
Just a fist fight so you can get thrown out of a show.
That is the most Anthony Hopkins thing ever.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I need to get back into my Anthony Hopkins, or I need to create a compilation, or a collection, rather, of Anthony Hopkins movies. I've seen him in a ton of stuff. I can't remember half of it. Anywho. Big week for gaming. I'm just gonna throw this up here. So the GTA and Red Dead 2 devs have formed a super studio called Absurd Ventures. It was actually the studio was formed a little while back, but Rockstar veterans are now joining up. And no idea what they're going to do or what they're going to make. But it's a lot of talented people.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
that the one where they're talking about doing like a full multimedia company where they're not just thinking about games?
That
Or was that a different article I posted?
might be a different article. This one, the quote is from Hauser and saying that the new studio is here, quote, to create new universes and tell great stories.
Yeah, exactly. I think they don't specifically say they're just like they're going to be
Yeah,
doing games.
yeah. It goes on to say hiring for multiple transmedia roles, including animated series, audio fiction, game development. So
Yeah, so they're going. That's got to be pretty interesting. I gotta admit, like some of the storytellers behind the most classic stories that Rockstar has made. I think that's pretty cool.
I'd watch an animated series from the studio. I think that might be fun. See what they have to come up with.
I mean, I imagine that they're going to be doing a ton of things across universes. They will have invariably games, TV shows, animes, whatever of the same IP, stuff like that.
Yeah, cross media is actually is pretty popular. It would be a good idea for them to have, a game property come out, a well-received game come out, and then have a show based off the game, or vice versa. That'd be interesting. See what they have to come up with. And with also the GTA 6 trailer dropped. So GTA 6 coming sometime in 2025.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That's 2 years off.
I joked with my friend. We have gotten a lot of things that have happened before GTA 6, and one of those things will be World War III.
Oh, we're laughing, but it's a laugh of fear. Oh shit. Yeah, everything's gone to pot. I swear to God, there was another GTA article posted. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Good forum. The other one here, yeah, Omega, I wanted to wait till you were around for this because you might have more to say. But Cult of the Lamb is getting the sex update. I just read this and was immediately intrigued. Don't know anything about it, but
I don't know anything about it either, and I gotta be honest, the thing I find most hilarious is just all the reaction around it. I mean, it's just a funny story. Like they said, if we get this many this many likes in the next amount of time or something, we'll
Yeah.
do it. So, yeah, it's kind of just funny. I mean,
and they surpassed that amount of likes quickly.
You were able to take spouses, like as the leader of the cult, you can take wives, or husbands, I believe. I don't think it was restricted one or the other. So I mean, hey, what's a good cult without some hanky panky?
yes, the Cult of the Lamb, much like the Church of Chonkwij, is very steadfast in our belief that a hole is a hole.
Well, it's like they say in the Navy, there is no wrong hole.
God bless those Navy men and women at all our
God bless George Carlin for making that joke.
So what it is, yeah, what it is, the meme name is the sex update, but yeah, what you said, Omega. You're going to be able to take spouses, and you're going to be able to see characters making out in the woods, and, people are going to fall in love and whatnot. But there is not, like, full-blown nudity or anything like that. There's not hardcore fucking... We're not talking about Rim Job World here. We're talking about a DLC or an update for Cult of the Lamb. That's it. So people worried this surprised me in the article. People are worried that this update will make Cult of the Lamb unsuitable for children. Is the game currently suitable for children?
Yeah, really, like, the game is pretty, relentless when it comes to the murder and sacrificing, and it's
I have less of a problem uh, with children like playing a game where you can make The Sims, okay? I have less of a problem with kids playing The Sims where you can kiss or you can woohoo. You don't see anything. They just, cover themselves up in bed and, there's some romantic music and hearts fly up and all the rest of that. I have less of a problem with kids playing those games than I do with kids playing games where people are being violently decapitated and there are buckets of blood pouring out of people's heads. Am I not worthy of being an American anymore? That's usually a very European attitude.
Well,
we love being bloodthirsty in America.
Violence is fine on TV. You
That's
show a
like
tit, you're
the
going to hell.
American entertainment genre is violence. We do violence better than anyone.
I
No one
bet.
does action movies like American.
I bet I could go downstairs and flip through TV right now and find something horribly violent.
oh, it's. I don't even think you probably wouldn't even have to cut the TV on.
Oh, and by the way, yeah, Twilight is not the kind of romantic fucking shit that I don't have a problem kids watching. Twilight is an entire series. It's a psychological study on abusive relationships. That shit's horrible. Keep your kids away from it. Fuck. Yeah, anyway. Cult of the Lamb, new update, early 2024. Seems, Omega says it's a good game. I believe it's a good game. You need to check it out.
I mean, it is definitely a good game. It's one of the ones that's on my wish list that I have not bought yet.
It's one of the many games that I'll eventually have time to play. One of these days.
It's a real good time. It's a really fun roguelike. Then, it's also incorporates some pretty fun base building. Nothing too complicated, base building wise, but you get to make your own little camp.
Speaking
of cult headquarters.
Speaking of base building, I left a review for Ixion the other day as part of the Steam Awards. I was surprised reading through the reviews that there are people out there who are just like, no, the game is like too fucking hard, the mechanics are too weird, and there's a lot of crap in it that doesn't make any sense. It's just like, this is nothing like Frostpunk. And I thought that was very surprising. Ixion's a great base builder game. If anybody likes base builders out there in the audience, you might want to give that a shot. I think it's pretty fucking fantastic, actually. Good story, too. Very, very much like Frostpunk, because it's hard. You need to be able to plan a base out in advance. There are strange mechanics to it, but they're strange for a reason. Figure out how to use them, and you'll find new and exciting ways to exploit game mechanics if you just go with it, and then it'll become natural.
Surviving the Aftermath I'm finding to be similar in the sort of you need to plan out your base before you start building it.
Yeah,
I ended up tearing down like half of my base just because I needed to. I had to rebuild a whole bunch of stuff in a new configuration.
Yeah, Ixion and Surviving the Aftermath have the same mechanic where units from one building need to travel to another building in order for production processes to function. That's a lot of dragon riding. Zero.
It is. This is just me flying from one point to another because I don't feel like controlling a character right now.
Whee! I'm flapping my dragon wings.
Don't encourage him.
No, the
I
way
know.
that he okay, so the way that he asked me to show this on stream was, "Hey, would you like to stream your addiction?" To which my response was emphatically yes.
It's true. It's so true. All right, and the other thing for updates this week was Diablo 4. So Diablo 4 got Helltide changes, and the devs are thanking people for their feedback. So
Yeah, are these changes active, or did they announce them for season 3?
Oh no, these were active updates. Like,
Oh, neat.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and there are also announcements for season 3. Helltides will be up for 55 minutes every hour, with only a 5-minute break between them.
Okay, that's the one that's coming next season.
Yes.
Gotcha.
but like
Yeah.
they've upped the living steel that you can get. People are literally walking out of a Helltide with 30 plus living steel now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
guess,
If you hit
they
it right,
probably-
if you hit it right, you can walk out with 36. If you hit it right.
It seems like we're kind of just getting to the point where they are like properly acknowledging endgame and being like, all right, we're at a point in this game where people's main goal is to kill these bosses. So, let's lessen that grind a little bit. That's good. It's nice to see them adapting.
I am extremely happy with the level of updates that we've gotten to this game so far. I made it through my season journey, and I think I hit rank 90 on my battle pass, so I've stopped playing. I haven't played in probably 2 weeks. I logged on for a little bit today. They were having issues with the authentication servers, and I was like, nope, I'm done.
I've done
So,
all but the last tier of the season journey. I just got bored with this season. I'll do next season. Yeah. I feel like this season just kind of ran its course for me, so next season 3 I'll check out all the new changes,
yeah. I don't know. I think I'm definitely going to run a barb next season. That is happening.
Yeah, they're real strong now, aren't they?
Yerp.
Let's go party. Let's see. So, okay, yeah. Update, and third update is going to be Baldur's Gate 3. So the new patch has introduced a new epilogue. It's basically an Act 4. It's it's Act 3.5, and it adds 2 game modes, ending scenes, and one very important quality of life fix, according to the Verge title. But yeah, it is. Patch 5 is enormous. Zero, your computer tried downloading it?
It has finished downloading. It was 135 gigs. It was insane.
Yeah, you should basically just uninstall the game and reinstall it.
Essentially, yes.
I forget what game it was, but I actually saw one where they were like, yeah, for this update, you shouldn't just update the game. We recommend you uninstall the whole game. That was actually a thing recently. I forget which game it was, though.
It might have been. I know that meme was for the Baldur's Gate 3 patch. I know that meme was being passed around. But yeah, if it belonged originally to another game, I don't know. But yeah, one of the things, the quality of life update, the huge quality of life update that was advertised here is party inventory management. So when you're at camp, you no longer have to recruit NPCs into your party in order to manage their inventories.
That is so nice.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. I appreciate that. And also loads of new content. Also, this is a patch. This is not DLC. This is free. You just get this So you're getting more gameplay with an epilogue, you're getting more ending scenes, and you're getting this quality of life update and a whole bunch of other patch fixes.
So I'm just going to reiterate this again for the 1000th time for our listeners who have anything to do with the committee that votes on the games. If this game does not win Game of the Year, we fucking riot. Because they have been so open with the community. They have added content without asking you to pay for it. And it is not small content either. It is like large chunks of story. And it is just, it is, oof, yeah. If this game does not win Game of the Year, we riot. Kind of like FSU fans are doing right now with the college football selection committee. There, I said my 2 cents about it, and we're going to leave it alone.
Wait, didn't you want to rail about something?
Oh, yes, I do want to rail about it, but we'll leave that for another time.
Okay, I'll add this to Baldur's Gate. So there are two new game modes being offered up. One of them is Tactician mode, so that's your customizable difficulty. No, sorry, Tactician mode is currently the hardest difficulty. There is now a custom mode that will allow you to customize the difficulty, so it'll have a bunch of options in there of the various things that you can do in game, the various difficulties that you can assign to, stuff like enemy difficulty or how your dice are weighted. So you get a custom difficulty mode now, and there's a new mode also called Honor mode, which it makes enemies hit harder. They use more advanced spells. They have legendary actions, but there's also permadeath and a special reward for those who can complete the game deathless. So, according to this article, when you inevitably die in Honor mode, you'll be presented with statistics from your journey, including how long and how far you survived. Should you choose, you can continue your adventure, which will then disable Honor mode. The players who do manage to complete the entire game in Honor mode enabled without dying will be awarded the coveted Golden D20. So there you go.
Part of me wants to do it, but at the same time, I'm like,
yeah, you get to Act 3 and then something wipes you out, or you're careless in Act 2 and the fog gets you or some shit. Yeah. There was something else I thought I read about a Baldur's Gate 3 update where maybe it is in Honor mode. You can't save scum. Or maybe
that makes sense.
Yeah, there is. The game automatically saves at certain points, so you can't save outside those, and you can't load back once you're dead. But there's a reward for the game rewards you for not save scumming in various ways. Anyway, Laren's doing a great job with Baldur's Gate 3. We can't have enough nice things to say about Laren Studios. Oh boy.
Video game awards are this this upcoming Friday or Thursday. So.
Okay. All right. So we'll know next podcast whether or not we're gonna riot.
I don't think we're gonna need to. A lot of my friends are like, Baldur's Gate doesn't stand a chance because it doesn't have it doesn't make enough money. And I'm like, but what you don't understand is this game is essentially flawless.
Yeah.
In an age where games come out incomplete, this game came out pretty damn complete.
So yeah, this is one of those rare instances where the purpose of having an awards ceremony is for we the fans to gauge how seriously we should take that particular brand of award ceremony. Joystick awards obviously gave a shit ton of awards to Baldur's Gate 3, deservedly so. So yeah, I think fans are satisfied that that is actually a legitimate award ceremony. that doesn't do... What the fuck is it? The Emmys? What is the organization or the group behind the Emmys? I used to know this. The Hollywood Foreign Press?
Yeah.
Yeah, all you need to do is take them out for an expensive meal, and yeah, you get an Emmy. That was the joke, anyway. Allegedly. But yeah, Joystick Awards did a good job. They're serious. Now we'll see what the other gaming awards have to say about themselves. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be PC Game of the Year in our hearts. No matter what. Good times. And then, Judge ordered Epic and Google to hold settlement talks while the jury decides whether or not there's, well, there's an ongoing antitrust suit, basically, that Epic has brought against Google. So that's the latest development in that. That it's just, this article is just basically outlining, yes, the antitrust suit is still going on. Epic wants freedom for Epic and other developers to open their own app stores on Android without restrictions, and they want the freedom to use their own billing systems to handle in-game transactions from players. Both of those are perfectly reasonable because the latter is already done by Spotify, and the former should be a thing anyway. The last thing that they asked for was an anti-circumvention procedure to, quote, just be sure Google can't reintroduce the same problems through some alternative creative solution. And the judge threw that out. Because, well, it's a good... The judge had the right to do it because the court does not grant injunctions that essentially boil down to don't break the law. That's why the court is there. If you think someone's breaking the law, you go to court. You don't have the court issue an injunction to tell people don't break the law in the first place.
Right.
So, I get that. But yeah, that's the latest news on that. More on that when there is some... We will tell you that when we have something to report. A lot of Star Wars memes in the Cox channel today. Or in general, anyway.
And then apparently I decided to bring back an old meme. With Doom.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wait a minute, was that? Oh, I just saw him. Yeah, I just saw Linus post that.
Yes.
My God, what a handsome gentleman. Yeah, oh yeah, you're right, you did post that.
Yep.
First thing he downloaded, yeah, you built your dad a brand new PC, first thing he downloads is Doom 1993. I mean, hell yeah. Doesn't matter if you got an RTX 4080.
It's a gaming masterpiece. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Boot up your DOS box.
I love the can it run Doom meme.
Yeah.
What was it? A pregnancy test ran Doom?
That's exactly what I was thinking about just now. Yes, pregnancy test.
To be fair, though, the software wasn't running on the hardware in the pregnancy test, but they were able to... They wired the display to display Doom.
Yep.
I wonder what the smallest thing that actually could play Doom is.
Oh, I bet we could get it on a... I mean, a graphing calculator is pretty large, but I bet we could absolutely do Doom on a graphing calculator.
Oh,
probably.
100%.
We might be... What's the first, like, pixel LED Casio wristwatch?
Oh, God.
I would play Doom on a Casio wristwatch. Hell, I don't wear watches. I would wear a Casio wristwatch. You got it. Nothing says I fuck like a bull like wearing a Casio wristwatch, folks.
Like a Casio wristwatch with the fucking calculator built into it.
Oh yeah, now you're just talking, yeah, like sex god. That's what that is. That's straight up there. I aspire to be that cool one day. Okay, and now for the real fun, for the real fun stuff. We all know how much YouTube hates ads. So this whole shit show that YouTube has been going over for identifying people who are using ad blockers and limiting the number of YouTube videos they can see, this is all escalating because obviously ad blockers are available in the Chrome store and ad blockers have been keeping up with this and it really hasn't been going the way that YouTube has hoped that it's been going. So now they've announced the next phase, which is slower extension updates. This is going to be implemented with Manifest v3 that will kick in June of 2024. And not only, well, right now, Google is trying to, or YouTube specifically, a division of Google, is trying to detect ad blockers on their Chrome browser, which is running into legal problems in the EU. Because that is essentially, that's a violation of some EU policy, some consumer protection policy in the EU. I don't understand it, I just think it's great. Go EU. So the next phase of this is going to be delaying updates in the Chrome store to Chrome extensions. And ostensibly they're doing this because they want time to adapt to how ad blockers have adapted to their adaptations of ad blockers. Just the non-stop fuckery continues. So I think this is really funny. This is great. And more power to YouTube. Burn it down is what I say.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a shame that they're fucking with extensions like that. But Firefox has come out and using this as another chance to be like, hey, everybody, come use our browser.
That is one of the things, yeah, that's one of the things that I want to get into. There's this article, and then there's another, the arms race between YouTube and ad blockers. Going back and forth. I'm actually happy that this is happening, believe it or not, and I think that this is a good thing for a myriad of reasons. First of all, yeah, like you said, Firefox getting more love. That's great. Firefox deserves it. The detection of ad blockers and the yeah, what do I want to say here? The detection of ad blockers and the obstruction to viewing adless videos on YouTube is limited to the Chrome browser. That's something I don't think people say enough. If you're using Chrome, that's why this is a problem. Go over to Firefox. I have not noticed any of this happening when I watch YouTube on my PC. It just isn't a problem for me because I use Firefox and I use uBlock and Ghostry. So good. More attention to Firefox. The other reason I think it's great is because basically I don't want to be the old man who doesn't know how to program a VCR, right? As I grow older, I'm conscious of new technologies coming out that maybe I am initially interested in and I just don't learn about them. But I want to. And this is sort of forcing me to learn about why this is happening and how this is happening and how to circumvent it. And keeps me up to date with basically streaming technology and how things are being organized in terms of delivering ads. And the various clever ways that YouTube has figured out to circumvent ad blockers, like putting ads on the same servers that they use to host videos so that ad blockers can't tell that there's been a switch over to an ad for it. You can't detect a third party, basically, because the ad is hosted on YouTube. Or the other way that YouTube is doing it is they're embedding ads in the video. So there's literally no changeover and the ad blocker has nothing to block. Stuff like that is interesting. So it's forcing me to keep up with technology. It's introducing me to new stuff. I just spent a day, a while ago reading all the documentation on Revance, which is a fascinating piece of technology available for Android for free. You can go check that out.
It's dead though.
No, that's Vance. Revance is not. Revance is an active development.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Neat.
So yeah, that's great. I took it for a test drive, downloaded a bunch of APKs, and yeah, it looks pretty good. As long as you're getting your install packages from trusted sources that cross-check them with MD5 hashes, so that you're not downloading something that's been altered to steal your shit. And if that sounds complicated, get the fuck onto Google and learn about it. It's really interesting. But yeah, I'm all for this. I'm all for YouTube throwing a hissy fit like this because it's really introduced me to some interesting stuff, and I appreciate that.
Now that is a positive outlook to have towards all of this.
And yeah, if that doesn't work out, and I just want to, watch YouTube videos, but I don't actually want to go to YouTube, I have the necessary tools that I need to rip entire YouTube channels and watch their content offline. This doesn't affect me one way or the other. I just need the storage space. Speaking of storage space...
Yup, segue.
Video of ceramic storage system prototype surfaces online. 10,000 terabyte cartridges. Bombarded with laser rays. Could become mainstream by 2030, making slow hard drives and tapes obsolete.
Could you imagine? Doc, all of your porn on one hard drive.
It's inconceivable to me. And I want it. I spent a lot of time reading this article and reading tangentially related things and doing all sorts of stupid, curious side research this week. I am thoroughly in favor of this happening.
Nice.
It is a ceramic-based storage medium that is suspended between two glass sheets. The entire thing is approximately 300, micrometers. I was going to say nano. No, it's 300 micrometers thick. And basically what happens is this ceramic medium, polymer of some type, ceramic of some type is punched through like chads being punched out of a ticket with a laser beam that has been so incredibly focused that it's fucking mind-boggling, the technology behind this and the infrastructure that was required to develop this technology. And the thing that's the best about it, they built it with shit they found in Best Buy.
That's amazing.
So yeah, proof of concept really fucking worked here, and this could be a huge fucking game changer, and I love it.
Wait, so what's ceramic? Like, how did they build it from stuff at Best Buy? It's new technology, right?
I should say, yeah, I was getting a little ahead of myself there. They built it with commercially available materials.
Mm-hmm.
So they anything that you can order online, they grabbed it and then they made a proof of concept. The proof of concept is not as advanced as this picture would lead you to believe on the article. It is essentially just one. It's a sandwich. So there's a piece of glass on the bottom, piece of glass on the top, and a ceramic layer of medium in between the two of them. And through this sandwich, they read it with a laser, and they punch out data with a laser. And they must have a way to unpunch the hole, too, which is probably has something to do with the composition of the medium. But man,
This is how Age of Ultron started. This bullshit right here.
Oh, come on, it's just a brain.
Self-repairing technology, probably not a good idea. I'm just saying, probably not a good idea.
We have
It's
that.
fine.
Yeah, we have that. NASA's got self-repairing structures, so you can
Wheels.
punch. Yeah, wheels too. Yeah, you can punch a hole in a wall now, and the wall will fix itself.
Oh, that's
But here's the thing.
creepy.
Here's the thing, Zero. If it makes you feel better, the wall doesn't fix itself because it knows it's been hurt and it's thinking about it. The wall just heals itself because that's what the material tends to do. So
Okay, makes sense.
it's not smart. It's just that's what it's like how, if you poke a hole in block, yeah, the hole stays there for a second, but then it just fills itself in.
Okay, makes sense.
Anyway, this is fantastic. My questions abounded for this technology, but the big one that I had is, how are you going to adapt this into modern day input outputs for like commercial PCs? Or is there gonna be, you're gonna have to basically put this technology inside of a chassis that's 2.5 inches or 3.5 inches to fit basically the industry standard architecture that we have for hard drives and SSDs right now.
Yeah, you're gonna need to put a SATA port on it. You're gonna,
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to either
gonna
put a
need
SATA port on it. You're gonna need to figure out a way to convert it into the same size as an NVMe, or put a SATA port on it, or
USB.
please don't put it on a PCIe rail. Please don't. But yeah,
USB.
USB. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, by 2030, yeah, we'll have USB 5.0. It'll have 10,000 gigabytes per second of speed. Why not?
And it'll still be USB-C because it's the best.
I bet you in 2030 we'll still have SATA ports on motherboards. Mark my words. SATA. That's one of the things that I was going through this week. That's one of the conclusions that I reached, is that SATA is unkillable.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I also started thinking again about how it's a minor miracle that we have NVMe drives at all available on motherboards. NVMe slots are basically standard on new motherboards. And that is a minor miracle because the PC industry is usually very resistant to redundancy, to new form factors of existing technologies. The whole industry is set up to eliminate that shit, to cut all the fat and find the best thing and just go like a bull straight into it. But no, we've got, on motherboards, we've got PCIe rails, and by extension, we've got the NVMe slots, and we still got SATA.
No, well, that's the problem. Is that it's the same problem that we've been having with USB. Why there's so many different kinds of USB. There's so many different form factors, so many different connection types, all that sort of different shit. Is because the marketplace, the way it's currently structured, incentivizes exclusive and proprietary designs. So that's the problem with all that shit. That's the reason why, Apple was forced to get away from their FireWire cable. Now they're all USB-C.
Yeah, all that horse shit.
They still have the Lightning cable. That's their own special, wiring and technology inside the cable itself. But the connector ports, they were told, all right, fuckers, time to play nice.
See, that's what we're seeing. What confuses me, or the question that I would have to that, is that what took the ICCC so fucking long to clamp down on that? Because they have a firm grip on the neck of anyone that wants to put new input or new I/O onto, say, a motherboard. they're not going to tolerate like some proprietary shit going on your, if Asus wants to make a proprietary SATA-esque connector and then attach a whole bunch of hardware to it. I first of all, I don't think that would be feasible from a manufacturing standpoint, because Asus would, or whoever was trying to do it would have to create all that new hardware from scratch and try to hawk it. But then the ICCC would come along and be like, no, this needs to be fucking universal. We need to have universal input outputs. We need to have universal architecture to some extent, at least. But yeah, what the fuck took the ICCC so fucking long to clamp down on Apple? And is it because Apple is one of the biggest corporations in the world? They got some of this money, they got a lot of lobbying, and they got a lot of lawyers? Maybe?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Something like that. But whatever. Fucking ceramic architecture for our PCs. 10,000 terabytes on something that could potentially be the size of a large M disk. Man, large SD cards with 10,000 terabytes. That's a lot. And here I am just trying to get 90 terabytes onto my home NAS.
Yes.
It's not enough. I still need more. I was actually thinking about just getting a server rack and setting it up in my basement. Just get an enterprise NAS.
Saw something today that made me cringe a lot. It was... Somebody said, "Oh, it's that time of year again. Don't forget to power wash your server racks." And they took a pressure washer to servers, and I almost vomited. It was one of those things where I was just like, "Oh my god."
That's great.
I always love those videos where they fuck with the. I mean, invariably it's old defunct equipment that is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Shorted out or whatever, but man, sometimes it feels good to watch some computer shit just get smashed.
Anybody else thinking about that Office Space scene with the printer?
The classic. It's as classic as it gets.
Oh, that's good stuff. Alright, last thing. Hey, Zero, you're super excited about the new Fallout series, aren't you?
Actually,
Bethesda. So, yeah.
Even though you almost ruined it for me, you bastard.
All I did was post the article. I'm not the one who made the decisions.
So, yeah, but you brought it to my attention. So, no, I am very much a huge, and you guys know this, I am a huge fan of the Fallout series, and I am, after seeing the trailer, I am very much interested in this show. I think they're going to do it right. I think they're going to stay true to the lore, and Bethesda has come out and said that this show is going to fall in the same universe as the games. And it is not going to be a retelling of one of the stories of the other Fallout games. It is a new vault. It is a new set of companions. It is a new story. But it falls within the canonical universe that Bethesda has built for Fallout. And that is what has me most excited, is that it's not like, okay, we're taking Vault 101 and we're just retelling that story. Or we're taking Vault 111 in Boston and just retelling that story. They are starting a new vault, Vault 33. And they are building the story based off of that. They are not retelling an old story.
I would laugh if the subtext of the show was religious.
it, but would it surprise you?
33. Actually, this day and age, yeah, it would. You have to be sensitive to everybody.
That's true.
Can't cater to the Christians anymore. Got to cater to everybody. That's the only concern that I have in the show is that are they gonna try to tell a Fallout story, or are they gonna try to
So
have relevant social commentary on real world problems in a Fallout setting?
correct. And I mean, look, just from some of the shots that were in the trailer, this game is gonna, or this friggin' show is gonna be gory as shit. Like people getting their heads blown off, the dog meat eating a person's arm or leg for sustenance. It's
I'm cool with that.
it's gonna be gory, and the guy who is directing it is the same guy who did Westworld.
Jonathan Nolan?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
He's, I look at Westworld and I see Fallout 4 with the way that they did the synths in the synthetic humans in that show is the exact same way that they did the synths in Fallout 4. So I see a lot of Fallout in Westworld.
First season. We're talking about the first season, right?
First season, yes, correct.
Okay, yeah. Fuck everything after the first season. We're just talking about the first season. Fine.
Yeah. So it impressed. I am very hopeful about the direction of the show, and I hope that they do it justice. And if they don't, that's okay. If they don't, I'll just wait another decade or more for the next Fallout game to come out, and hopefully it will be better. I mean, it can't be any worse than 76.
He said. That's okay. When you make statements like that, you're usually pretty spot on. All the rest of us are the outliers.
So I'm very much looking forward to it. So the shows that have come out for video games here as of late have not been bad. I actually went back and watched The Last of Us. It was really good. Never played the game before, probably never will, but it was good. I've watched a couple of other, let's see here, what other video game shows have come out recently?
The Witcher.
I haven't watched it yet.
That's
I
fine.
need to.
You know what? Yeah, season one. Definitely give season one a check out, and then season 2 is pretty great as well. After that, I mean, you can watch season 3. If you really like to. You don't have to.
Which
season
show?
1 and 2. The Witcher.
Oh.
Season 1, season 2 are very strong. Season 3, some weird stuff happens. Some weird creative choices happen.
So Castlevania was good. I did watch that. Did not watch Halo because
I skipped it as well.
Master Chief took his helmet off, and that's a sacrilege.
Fucked.
Yay, fuck.
And that's just not who Master Chief was.
Allowed to fuck.
I watched Metal Gear or Twisted Metal, which I actually enjoyed. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually heard Twisted Metal was really good.
It was, and Will Arnett voicing Sweet Tooth and having Samoa Joe as the physical embodiment of Sweet Tooth was a great choice.
Another Muhammad.
This is an ongoing thing.
That's my third one. It is the most common name in the world, to be fair.
Yep.
What's that?
Muhammad.
Oh yeah. Oh, in your game. Okay. I was like, what the fuck am I missing? The other show that I truly love, and it is in no way, shape, or form anything related to Halo, was Red versus Blue. but that is just an all-time favorite of mine.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just good machinima. Any good machinima, rarely does machinima have anything to do with the game that it's based on. The game just becomes the storytelling medium. I mean, that's why good machinima is good. That's why Red versus Blue is so fucking great.
Yeah. Jeff from Rooster Teeth summed it up perfectly when he was talking about Red versus Blue, and he just said one thing: "Thank God Halo glitched."
I think the best line out of that whole thing is, Caboose, throw that grenade! Stuck to the wall right in front of him. Who put that wall there?
Oh, it's been a while. I should go back and watch Red vs. Blue again.
Oh yeah. It is on. Oh God, what platform is it on? I think it's, well, I mean, you could download it. You could download it through perfectly legal means.
Thank you. Yes, I do have a seaworthy vessel.
But it is on Hulu, I believe, right now. Because
is it on Rooster Teeth first?
It is on Rooster Teeth first, but I haven't watched anything past season 4.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So.
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Oh no, it's on Amazon Prime, is what it is. It is on Amazon Prime, and the only reason I've been rewatching it is because I have it free through Amazon Prime.
That's good to know. I actually do have. Yeah, Amazon Prime. All right. Okay. So yeah. Oh, good times. So yeah, that wraps up that. I'm sure there was other stuff that I wanted to talk about that I've forgotten at this point.
We got a bit of a late start.
Yeah, happens.
So, in funnier news, one of my friends posted that he was playing the new Fortnite OG build because, people still play Fortnite. And he said that him and his buddies destroyed a team on, or it was posted. He showed me it was a tweet that he showed me. He said that this group destroyed this entire team of people who had TTV in their name. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we completely beat these people. Let's go check out their Twitch channel and see who they are. It was a mother and all of her kids playing Fortnite together. They were all very upset, and the crew that destroyed them just started dancing and memeing on top of them.
Oh.
So I was like, that's a little toxic, but you know what?
I mean, as far as the internet goes, that's downright wholesome.
Yep.
Those kids can suck it. Get good, scrubs.
Oh goodness.
So you got a good thing going, Omega. You got crop fields, you got irrigation.
Yeah, I'm pretty much self-sufficient at this point. I'm pushing for 300 colonists. Almost there.
There's a new quest available.
Let's see. Oh, you got your bricks back. The last time I watched you playing, you had a cinder block shortage.
Yeah, now wood seems to be my main slowdown.
Rude. You have negative 100 power?
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Oh, gotcha. All right, batteries.
Running off batteries. Solar's all down. It's gonna be cold in an hour. Hey, let's get harvesting.
It is 2 a.m. Harvest my crops.
Sleep is for the weak.
I like the fucking Warcraft memes that we were posting. You,
The shift
peasant.
workers.
Yes, my lord. Attack the enemy stronghold. Okay.
Okay. Work, work, work.
Work.
Oh.
Scoo.
My boss tells me told me the other day, he said, you need to get back to work. You need to do something. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you still have stuff sitting in your box. And I'm like, work, work, work. I sent him I sent him like a string of gifts that was nothing but orc peons.
Yeah, the peons.
Yeah, and he was like, you know what? You know what's really sad? I know what you're doing and you need to stop.
Attaboy. That's what I always say. It's not a successful work week unless you get reprimanded at least once. Got to give the HR department something to do besides sit
Right.
around.
Collect a paycheck.
It's like, do you know what a horrible disruption you are? What are you talking about? I'm giving your HR department a reason to exist. Oh, I found a brilliant definition on Urban Dictionary that describes me. It's called Schrodinger's douchebag.
You were both a douchebag and not a douchebag at the same time.
A Schrodinger's douchebag is someone who says something outlandish and then waits for the audience response to insist whether or not they were serious or joking.
Yep. Nope. That's about right.
Yeah.
That's about right. Oh, well, gentlemen, I need to call it an evening.
Yeah, it is. It did get late. So yeah, we should wrap up the podcast here. Thank you everybody for coming along. Thank you everybody in chat. GG's. We'll be here same time. We're podcasting next week, and we might the week after that, but we're off for Christmas. We're obviously not gonna have a podcast on Christmas.
Probably not New Year's Day either. Some of us may be hungover.
Probably not New Year's Day either. Yeah. I'll still be drunk. So, GG's everybody. Same time, same place next week. Penis, fuck Winnie the Pooh, fuck Elon Musk, fuck Linus Tech Tips, fuck Putin, fuck Nestle. There we go. That's all.
Welcome.
It's a good list.
It's a good list. It will expand in the coming year. Stay tuned.